Hi guys, it's me, Skeptical Nessie, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I actually have a lot of things that I want to get done, and I thought we would start this off with just a really quick world tour, because as we're going through the world tour, I'm going to point out all of the things that I want to get done on today's episode. With the houses here, there isn't actually anything that I need to do, except I want to replace these with fences because the villagers are getting perpetually stuck on them and it's just so annoying to me. So that's one thing I want to do. I already moved the cartographer's table in here off camera. And then I moved the Fletcher's table into this building. Hello, sir. Just to sort of tidy up the area a little bit. The next thing that I want to do, and probably the largest part of today's episode, honestly, is down here. We have all of these farms down here in the basement, and I want to convert these into auto crafting farms, so this will automatically craft it into wood. And then the pumpkin and melon farm, I want to change it so that the pumpkins and melons get sorted and then the melons get automatically crafted into, melon blocks so that I don't have to run down here and do that as often, which should make our storage last longer. With the cactus farm, there's not actually anything that needs updating, and the same with the sugarcane farm. I don't actually want this to auto craft because I would rather it just, I get to choose if it goes into sugar or into paper. Although I have two sides. Now, I just use so much more paper than sugar, but when I need sugar, I want to just be able to come and grab some sugar cane. So I think we'll just leave that farm alone. And then I don't think there's anything really to discuss with these houses over here. They're still doing good. We do have problems. This bee is getting stuck here all the time because he's trying to get to these flowers. So I was going to replace these flowers with something else just because it I don't know. It just looks silly with that bee stuck there. And we can plant something that isn't a flower here to fix that problem. Let's just give this flower to these guys here. I don't think there's anything really that needs doing in here. Yeah, this house is still good. Nom on this carrot a bit. I want to point this out. I did this off camera. I color coded all of these. So we have our fireworks in white, food in orange, our treasures are in blue. I've got potions in the purple one, and then wood is in brown. That's the color scheme I typically stick with for my ender chest. Over here on the factory, we need to go and we need to click all of the green blocks to get them to the correct color state. And the other thing I want to do in the factory here is replace this with copper doors, with the weathered copper doors. I have one, but I need to get one more. In here, I don't think we really need to do anything. No, this still looks good. I don't really want any auto crafting in there. I just want the flexibility of being able to create whatever I want to, whenever I want to. And then down in the skeleton farm, let's go down here really quick. I've been doing a lot of AFKing to repair my tools from the big dig, and so we have a lot of stuff down here. I was thinking of including maybe off to this side or off to this side an area where we could just throw our bows in and they would auto craft into dispensers and then be deposited here. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And I don't know if I want to auto craft the bones. I think I'm just gonna leave the bones because it's genuinely not that big of a pain to me. But I do want to change this so that when I'm standing here AFKing and my inventory finally fills up, that it will just collect whatever overflow is created from the farm into a chest for me. Hey, editing Nessie here, just popping in to say that recording Nessie had totally forgotten that she planned to make changes to the village in today's episode, as well as updating the skeleton farm and including an auto crafter for dispensers in the skeleton farm today, because she is a very ambitious person and doesn't realize that time exists and is a constraint to things like this. So hopefully we get around to those projects sometime in the future. And then I have resorted everything. As you can see, we've got our diamond and iron armor over here, leather armor here, gold armor, and then chainmail armor. And then let's make our way over to the big dig now, because you guys actually haven't seen that, but I have been working on that off camera. And this is the main reason that we're going to need to go to the end of this episode at some point and farm up some shulker shells, because I'm completely out of shulker shells due to the big dig, and now I'm having to store the cobblestone and dirt in mixed chests because I'm running out of space, which I don't really like. So let's head on over there. Alright, so the other thing I want to do today is to come up with a design for the walls of this walkway. I don't think we will actually build them all, because I don't think I'll have time for that. But I want to come up with a design and at least get it built to here, because I go between the big dig and my house a lot, and this is really annoying. So let's see if we can get through without dying. So as you can see over here at the big dig, I've actually been putting all of our resources on top of the creeper farm. Let's go on up here and take a look at it. We've got 4 shulkers of grass blocks, as you can see, and then so much grass. I'm actually running out of space to store it. We've only got 1 chest of dirt, a lot of cobblestone. It's even started to overflow. And then mixed resources here, and all of the random grass and sheep and stuff. And I've had to kill 2 raid captains while digging. And this is the progress of the big dig. I've been working on it in the mornings and in the evenings when I have some free time. And honestly, I find these big grindy projects on Minecraft are so relaxing to me. They're one of my favorite things to do. But this is why we need to go do some in-busting today, because I've run out of shulker shells filling chests up there, and I don't want to just keep stacking more and more chests, because that will just be a pain for me. First things on our to-do list is actually converting the farms. I think that's the most important thing. And in order to do that, we're actually going to need to pop over into my creative world, because I don't know how the autocrafter works. So we're going to need to actually fiddle around with it in the creative world. And I think I'm actually going to show you guys that. I don't normally show the creative world, but I think I'm going to do it today. So I'll see you there. So welcome to a creative world. These are my favorite to use for redstone, just a void world. And let's start pulling out things that I think we might need. We're going to need some hoppers, I assume. And we're going to need an auto crafter. What's it actually called? Oh, it's just called a crafter. And probably going to need some redstone dust. Comparators and repeaters. And I know I said that backwards, but that's okay. And I'll just let you guys know straight off the bat, I am not a redstoner. I do my best, but I'm not very good at it. So we'll see how far I can get before I have to start doing some Googling. You can't just type in building blocks. That's not a thing. We use this as our building block. Oh, and lay them on their side. Didn't know that. This is my first time using them, so want to put it up high so I have space underneath it for whatever I might need. I'm going to assume we need a crafter underneath it. We're going to need something going into it. Does it need to be on the top or on the side? Let's get, what are we wanting to craft? Bamboo. We're going to start with the bamboo. I think that's the most important one. Okay, so that doesn't craft. If you just do that, it just flows through. Good to know. If I put it in here, does it do the same thing? Yes, so it doesn't seem to be directional in that aspect, so we're gonna leave it on the top for now. That changed something. What did it change? It locked it. Still locked, okay. I think I'm gonna fiddle with this a little bit off camera and come back to you guys when I have made some progress. Oh, I see. So it needs to have like a pulse. So how do you create a pulse? I mean, this is clunky, and does this need to be here? No, okay. It was just me not understanding how the signal was traveling. Now I think you can mess with the signal, right, by the amount of objects in here. I think this is what we're gonna stick with. So, it's a very simple build, obviously, and it's just an etho hopper clock, which I did have to look up again. I have to look this up every time I build it because it's just not in my brain yet. But let's go ahead and create a Lightmatica of this to make it easier to build. And obviously we're not going to build this exact one in my world, but I just want to be able to look at it with the schematic. So let's save it. Okay, so we made our auto crafter. And it works. There's probably a far more elegant design that I just don't understand. I do wonder if you could move the repeater one closer. It would still work, but this doesn't matter. This is good enough for us. So let's log off and get back to our survival world. Back into the survival world. It's still rendering in, but let's go down. Actually, before we go down there, we should just get together all of our redstone goodies. It's unfortunate that we do not have a shulker box to put them in, but we'll solve that later today. I did not know that was a directional crafting recipe. So let's go down below and make some updates to our farms. Start with this guy. So I started working on the bamboo farm and it actually went really well, except for the point where I accidentally broke the farm and then had to repair it. But adding the auto crafter for this farm actually turned out to be super easy. I used the Lightmatica that we had made and just referred back to that, and I was able to build it super quickly. Then I went on to the pumpkin and melon farm, and this did not go quickly because, to start with, I just completely scuffed up the auto sorter when I was trying to make it, and that took me about 30 minutes to figure out that I just had to completely redesign a portion of the farm to actually make the auto sorting function work. And then I moved on to trying to do the auto crafting, and things really fell apart for me because it turns out that the simple etho clock that I had made for bamboo just does not work for melons because melons can be made into melon seeds. So I had to come up with a completely new design, and it actually took me a really long time to figure something out. And the solution that I came up with was pretty funny, so let's just take a look at that now. Okay, so I have just created maybe the weirdest way of handling this, but I think it should reduce the amount of melon seeds we get. I don't think it would be 0 melon seeds, but I think it would be pretty close. So we're gonna try this on survival and see how it works. And if these chickens are our solution, I am going to laugh so hard. I was also thinking we could just add some hoppers underneath the chickens and collect their eggs as well. So let's see if this works. Alright, let's try to make the strangest auto crafter possibly ever made. It's not saying much because they haven't been out for very long, but... Oh, wrong way. Oops. So I think we've actually completed this farm, and we got our little chickeny friends creating sort of a randomizer so that the crafter can fill up a little bit so it won't accidentally craft melon seeds. I don't know how this is gonna work, but it's funny, and let's just see how it goes. We have these chests here. We can check if things have backlogged or not, and I need to pick all of this stuff up, but ooh, let's just see. They just double fired it. There isn't a melon in there yet. Melon seed yet. Yeah, I think it's filling up fast enough that it's not going to be a problem. I think you'll randomly get the occasional melon seed possibly, but I don't know. We are going to see how this works. And I'm gonna actually leave it. I'm actually going to leave it instead of coming back down here to check on it every time I hear fire. So, that is both of the farms fixed. The second one not fixed in the way that I had anticipated. I do want to check on this farm before we go and work on the next part. Oh, look at how much that's doing. It has been loaded for a while. And we also have a view into a cave. That was not intentional, but we're going to leave it. And it still looks pretty nice. All things considered, both of the farms actually look decent, which I was worried that with the changes that would need to be made that they would actually look pretty bad, but I think I managed to hide the new chests. Oh my goodness, it's night again. I swear every time I come up here it's night. Let's sleep, and then we're gonna move on to the next project. So I put away all of our redstone bits and bobs. I think the next thing that we're going to tackle from our to-do list is actually the factory, because that's a pretty easy thing to tackle. So let's just grab some shears really quick. Should be in here. I think I'm going to leave a couple that are like this. I just tried to apply a diamond to that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the end and get some shulker shells, but I refuse to wear my netherite in the end. So we're going to craft up a quick set of diamond armor as our in-busting gear. I'm gonna use these boots. This chest piece. This hat, so we only need trousers. And I was gonna grab some levels to actually put something on the trousers, so let's do that really quick. I guess we're going with blast blast protection. And then protection on everything else. I do need to get a silk touch book that we can pop on a pickaxe. And then I think we'll be ready to head to the end, actually. Yeah, we have a looting sword. Sir. Well, that broke. Go downstairs and use the one downstairs. But we need to make the pickaxe really quick. So my plan is to just in-bust for a full hour. And then once that hour is up, we will just come back with whatever we have, because an hour's about all I've got to dedicate to this, because we still need to do a design for the nether hub walls. Actually put our wings on. We're actually gonna get out of here and call this quits because it has been over an hour. I actually managed to get about half a stack of shulker shells, which is not really as many as I need, but it's at least a start. So let's head back home. I think this is the one I already cleared out. Yeah, you can see holes everywhere where I dug around on it. And there we go, back home. I think there's an angry Enderman here, so let's just hop in really quick. Yeah, there's definitely still an angry Enderman in the end. Excuse me. Okay. Let's get ourselves set back up with our proper gear. Oop. And here's everything that we got from our in-busting. Yeah. So we got just over half a stack of shulker shells. We got some more elytras. Pop in here. With that, we have exactly one task left on our to-do list for today, And that's going to require us popping back over into the creative world yet again. So for the nether, we already have deep slate tiles as one of our bricks, or one of our blocks. Let's figure out a palette really quick. We've got deep slate as the base. I don't want to stick with nether-ish bricks. I'm thinking something like this. I want each section of the bridge to be about 5 wide. There we go, that's 5. So, I find that when you have to repeat patterns a lot in Minecraft, that 5 and 3 seem to work really well. So I'm thinking of having it 5 wide with a 3 wide like pillar in the center. So here, and probably 5 tall. Oh, and maybe not the pink. And then what we can do is we can put I think this is the design that we're going to go with for the walls. So I have designed the basic idea for the walls. This is going to have to be a I did not mean to break that. Let's fix that really quick. This is going to have to be a series-long project though. As you can see, this is going to require a lot of difficult to acquire materials. I was planning to build a section of this today, but upon looking at the design I just settled on, that is going to have to be an episode for a different day. So let's go back to survival really quick. So I'm going to start smelting some netherrack to actually be able to do that project in the future. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. Can't wait to see you next episode. Bye!